Hi, this is Brandie Davis, author of the Renee series, and you're with Jerry Royce Live.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to Jerry Royce Live on Positive Power 21.org. I am the voice of Jerry Royce, and when it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power 21. And today I'm not going to hold you guys up and talk about all those great conferences that my family and my colleagues went to in Maryland. We all had a good time. You can listen to the other shows and find out what we were doing. We did meet some fantastic people at these conferences, and we're going to, we're waiting on a YouTube tape to come up so we can share that so you guys can understand what Harriet Tubman is all about. Because that was one of the conferences that my people went to, was out on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Because today we want to talk about Brandie Davis. She's on our show tonight, and she's calling in from New York City. I want to give you her website before a lot of people, get a little tired. But the website is BrandieDavisAuthor.com, and she's on Facebook and Twitter. And I think Twitter, she says, is Author Brandie D. And we get all the information. But I am going to say to my sponsors, thank you very much for sponsoring my show. We've been doing very well, and I appreciate all the fans and people that's writing and tweeting and retweeting us, helping us get out there, because we are trying to do our best to help promote our authors, because they are, some fantastic people. I always find that authors are I think they're the most wonderful people in the world, to tell you the truth. All right, so because of that, I want to shout out to Kai Rodriguez out in Virginia, Andrea Freeman, Lisa Evans. I want to say hi to Ronnie Dawson. He's the publisher of Broken Bars Publishing Company. He was a very good guest. Pamela Samuel Young. We go way back, my Iraq Talk Radio days. Ashley Humphrey, a young lady in college. She read some beautiful Christian poems last night. Oh, man, it brings tears to your eyes. She was so wonderful. So check that show out. That's going to go up tonight, matter of fact. That'll be up tonight before midnight. And then my man Dominic L. Jordan. Oh, that dude, a young guy, only in his 20s, a school teacher, and he's working with young people. He writes on some site owned by Google, I believe, and he just published 2 books helping teens out, and one is a science fantasy book. So I just want to thank those people for coming out and supporting our show and making it a fantastic live broadcast. And so right now we're going to bring out another fantastic person, Brandie Davis. Let me get her bio up. Man, while I was talking, I should have done that. But anyway, we got Brandie Davis on the show, and her website says, under About Me, "Hi everyone, I'm Brandie Davis. I am a God-fearing, family-oriented woman. I love spending quality time with my boyfriend, nieces and nephews, and laughing on the phone with my sister and friends. My debut novel, Renee, All Hail the Queen, released in October 2012, and its sequel, Renee 2, The Protégé, were released on September 24, 2013. Being a writer who I am, it was never a choice. I enjoy penning fiction novels because it allows me to exercise my creativity. My goal is to supply readers with entertaining, drama-filled books that will take them through a whirlwind of emotions. My favorite genre to read is urban fiction. The first urban fiction novel I picked up was Flyy Girl by Omar Tyree. My favorite authors are Ashley and JaQuavis. Not familiar with that author. But anyway, not only am I an author, but I'm also a blogger, the founder of my Urban Book Club on Facebook, and a library employee. I am surrounded by books on a day-to-day basis, and on many occasions I have been inspired to put pen to paper after walking through the aisles of books. All right. Brandie Davis, welcome to the show. How you doing, my friend?
Thank you, Jerry. I'm doing very good. And yourself?
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. You know, you got everything going on the right note. When we first, we got some laughter going on. You know, you got a couple chuckles on me because I picked up the wrong headphones, but that's cool.
Yes, it was hilarious, everyone. It was hilarious.
I'm gonna let you slide, and it's funny because I have 3 pair of headphones sitting out here. One is connected to my Vonage phone for internet, and then I have my wireless one connected to my iPhone, and then I have this one. And how did I pick up the wrong one? I guess because we was taking photographs in here, so I don't know.
Hey, stuff happens. So long as you got together, that's all that matters.
That's right. And plus, I was just on a show a few minutes ago. I couldn't remember who the host was, but one of my friends was on a show promoting her new release. So I wanted to support her. And anybody out there that needs, wants some support, just let me know where you are. Jerry will be there. At least he would try to be there. At least by landline or by internet. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right, Brandy. So we're gonna get going. We want to talk about you first.
Okay.
These first couple of minutes, let's just know about you. Tell us a little bit about Brandy, something that a lot of people don't know about professionally about you. Okay?
Oh, wow, that's a hard one. I can't stand this question. I feel like when you go to a job interview, they're always saying, oh, tell us a little bit about your stuff, and you just sit there with your mouth open like, So basically a little bit about myself that a lot of people don't know. Once it comes to literature, the way businesses ran, the way it's written, book covers, I'm very judgmental. I think a lot of people may have just started to notice it, but to know it off the back, I don't believe a lot of people will see it. But I'm very judgmental and I'm very personal. You will never find me on the social media venting or expressing anything personal. That's just not my style. That's just not me. But other than that, I think I'm pretty down to earth. I think I'm pretty level-headed. I call myself the boring author. If you friend me on Facebook, you are not going to see any excitement. I'm not going to go crazy about a bad review. I'm not going to tell you, what person I felt like strangling today. So that's just basically it, me in a nutshell. I'm a hard worker, and I'm very competitive. That I will admit. I'm very competitive. I didn't want to admit it, but I'm admit it today. I'm very competitive.
Now, are you competitive with your own work? Like right now you have 2 books and you have an anthology that's been released. Are you critical or competitive against yourself? Like just trying to get better?
Definitely. Especially not knowing, I think every author believes that their book is great, but knowing that I believed my first book was good, I didn't expect to get the love that I received. Renee has 144 reviews on Amazon, and over 120 of them are 5 stars. And these are not including friends and family, just pure readers. I was not expecting that. So once that happened, I said, okay, Brandy, you really do have something. People really do like you. So that's when I just started being my biggest critic. I would read something and just delete it all if it doesn't meet my expectations. I must grow. That's always one of my first rules, to grow. I don't believe in just standing still. To me, that's a bore. Who wants an author who doesn't progress in some way, shape, or form? So, yeah, I'm definitely very competitive with myself. I would probably beat myself up if I could. I'm very competitive.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you get good. That's how you reach the next level. Motivational speakers say it all the time. Be the biggest critic of yourself. Now,
yes.
Now you're out there doing. You said your favorite genre is urban lit. Now,
yes.
Are you from the hood, or you just kind of infatuated with the hood?
No, I'm not, actually. To being honest with you, I think I've mentioned this before. Being that I do write in this genre, I cannot tell you my backstory. My backstory is not that, I had it hard, that, I didn't have X, Y, and Z. It's actually the complete opposite. I was fortunate enough to be raised in a household with both my parents. I'm the baby. My mother has 5 children. I'm the youngest. I'm pretty much spoiled. Basically, whomever is in my life does spoil me. And I was just basically always well-sheltered, well-protected. So the reason why urban fiction is my favorite genre is because of the creativity, how you step out of the box. Everybody wants something a little bit adventurous, a little bit different, and I read all sorts of genres, everything. But I just happen to gravitate to that. I just feel like when you open up an urban fiction book, it just literally a hand comes out of that novel, grabs you by your shirt collar, and then you don't leave that book until the last page. I just love the writing techniques, the voyage that it takes you on. But as for growing up in the hood, no. Like I said, I'm the boring author. I can't give you no sad stories, no hard knock life, because I had a pretty good upbringing, I have to admit.
Now, you are from New York and living in New York right now?
Yes, I am, yes.
Okay, what part? Where are you?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised, and just a couple of years ago I actually moved to the Bronx.
Oh, all right. My grandmother, my grandmother just moved to Harlem from Long Island, so I'm kind of familiar, with some of that territory. I haven't really been, mostly now when we go, we hanging around that Times Square area now.
Oh, yeah, so y'all in the city. You're in Manhattan, yes.
Right. My daughter loves, she's really into fashion, and she loves that fabric district. So when we catch the bus, we normally just hang around that area where Fashion Institute of Technology is.
Gotcha. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. So that's as far as we go now. So my grandmother will be mad when we don't feel like catching the cab to Harlem. Oh man, how much that's going to cost? So
yes,
anyway.
I love Manhattan. It's just like the glitz and the glam for me. I love Manhattan. I do. But there's no place like Brooklyn. I have to admit, no place like Brooklyn.
Wow, that's what they say. They say.
Yes, it's true.
So it's been a while. It's been a while since we've been there. Now, you're an accomplished author now. You're out there. So how long, have you been an author? Did it start very young, like you did your first, coloring book or something? Like how did it all get started?
Yes, actually, you're 100% right. I can't really give you an age. I know my sister always brought up to me that I was always just writing little stories. You could find it in the closet. And then I just remember growing up to be around 10, 11. And I remember the very first book I penned was just a whole bunch of short stories put together to make one story. And when I think about it, in this day and age, it's really calling it anthology. But I had no idea. I thought I was creating an anthology, but I really wasn't, because you need more than one person. But that was the very first book, and I remember I let my sister-in-law read it, and she liked it. She still has a couple of pages, but I don't know where that document is at. So I would have to say, at a really young age, I don't know, probably 5, 6.
Wow.
That's a great question. I'm going to have to ask my sister. She's the oldest out of all of us, so she remembers everything. I would probably have to ask her, but that's where my journey began, just, I guess, with a pencil and a dream. Now,
you work in the library. I'm assuming you pretty much live there, because I know you guys have different schedules, where you work the weekends. Because my brother's actually a manager at a library himself. He actually started out as a security guard, and
so he gets it.
So he's there all the time. And he loves it. He loves being around. Now, do you have a strong collection of different genres of books?
Of course. And one of the best collection of books is our urban fiction section, actually, and that is taken great care of by my coworker, Ms. Vega. She's really great with that. People come in, frequent the area really specifically for urban fiction, but of course we have a strong collection of our cooking books, our foreign language section, our fiction, nonfiction, romance. Basically, you name it, we got it. Just overall, the New York Public Library system does have a great collection.
Good. And how about your personal collection?
Oh, my personal collection is my own little library. I literally have 2 bookshelves actually in my living room, and the funny part is you could tell I work at a library because they have the stickers at the bottom. I remember the old school stickers that we used to have in the libraries where you would put at the bottom for the author's last name. They have those on it, and it's all shelved by author's last name, the way I would work at the library. My personal library, it's just superb. I mean, it has everything there. Why wouldn't you like my collection?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Now, my brother, he's a collector of music too. He sees some stuff come in there, and I think you guys y'all discount it and sell it after a while, after the shelf life when it comes to CDs and music. How about that? Are you a lover of music?
You know what? You're talking more about a friend of mine, Miss Fabiola Joseph. Unfortunately, that is not me. I am just basically a lover of books. Don't get me wrong. It's like certain songs I love, certain television shows I love, but my first and primary and only love is books.
Get out of here. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. All right. Now, this question, I'm not sure you ever thought about this answer before, but if somebody had to guess, and I'm talking about, I know you're just writing urban fiction right now. What would be the, if someone said, did you know that Brandie Davis just released a book under the genre BAM? What would it be that would kind of blow them away? If
that's perfect because this is actually going to happen in the future. I think what would blow them away is the fact that I already have a storyline written in my head for the genre, basically a futuristic. That will be, futuristic. That's going to be one of the routes that I'm going to go in. I didn't plan to go there, in all honesty. One day, me and my boyfriend, Donnell White, was driving, and the funny thing is he made this comment. And, I mean, when he said this comment, I looked at him. I said, oh, my gosh. And the whole story literally flashed before my eyes. I said, I have to write that book. And he looked at me and said, what? And I'm like, you just gave me the greatest idea ever. So it's definitely going to be futuristic. It's going to take place in, like, year 2030, 40 or something like that. So that's what I'm really going to dig my claws into, because if a lot of people do and don't know is Renee 3 will be the final installment of that series. After that, in the future, I will pen 2 other urban fiction novels. But then after that, it's going to be strictly novels in a different genre. I will not remain restricted within that genre. I will definitely step outside the box.
Good. Now, when is your birthday, Brandie? When's your birthday?
I'm a Capricorn, Team Capricorn. I was born December 30th.
Hey, my brother, he's a Capricorn.
See, hence why he's in the library. It just makes sense. The smart people go there.
and my son, my baby mama is a Capricorn.
See, very smart woman, isn't she? Very smart woman.
And it don't stop there. My father-in-law is a Capricorn.
See? Listen, you are surrounded by the greatest sign ever. Let me tell you.
I got one more.
Who?
My sister-in-law is a Capricorn.
See? That, you know what that tells me? That means you're blessed, Jerry. You're blessed.
I know.
You got the greatest sign. We are very sweet people. We're giving people. We could be a little bipolar. I admit. We could be a little bipolar. But we got your back. We're loyal. We are team loyalty. We may hate your guts at a certain moment, but we'll still look out for you and always have your back. So you're surrounded by perfect people.
You know, because I have 2 homeboys. They were born in December, just like you, and we've been friends, going back to kindergarten now. And I know their personalities. So I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong. So you're pretty challenging with your boyfriend. It's never a dull moment. I mean, you can catch him off guard, and he'll be like, "Whoa," that kind of thing.
With us, honestly, I feel like pertaining to me and my boyfriend's relationship, I think we're the perfect match. We are the complete opposite in a lot of areas that I believe I need an opposite in. I can be very serious, very emotional, and whenever I get, I guess you could say, unbalanced or out of whack, he's always the stable one. He's always the calm one. But then we always seem to meet up and mesh well because we're both comedians. I mean, we're always laughing. He keeps me laughing. So I would have to say we balance each other 100%. That's just like that's my better half. That's my everything.
Yeah, because one thing I find, Capricorns are very spiritual people. They are. I mean, sometimes you guys do have your moments where you really fly into it. Get really serious. Because my dad's birthday is actually January 1st, and his best friend's birthday was January 1st. So
they're January babies. I'm a December one.
Right. So, but like you said, y'all very good people. All right.
Yes.
Now we moving to the top of the hour. It's time to talk about your books. All
Yay!
All right. Now let's start out with the first one. Now your main character, I guess her name is Renee. She's running through both the books.
Yes.
All Hail the Queen and the Prodigy. Okay.
Yeah, the Protégé.
Renee. All right. Let's talk about Renee. How did you create Renee? How long did it take you? Was she always there? Is that you? Your best friend? Who is Renee?
I love when people ask that question. I've literally had people come to my job and ask my coworkers. I remember Rita came to the job, and I was on the second floor. He was on the first, and he comes to me. He goes, Brandy, Rita came to you, was looking for you, but I was somewhere else. I go, okay, that's great. And he goes, she goes, where's Brandy? He's like, the second floor. And then she starts to whisper to him, is she Renee? So, and he looks like, no. So I would love to answer this question. Renee actually creates herself. I don't really like to say I create these characters. What I do is once I come up with a storyline or a personality trait, they make themselves. Renee is honestly the exact opposite of me. Renee is the person that I could never be because I'm too polite, too reserved. But she's like the total, it's like the yin and the yang. She's the dark side, basically. Renee is very selfish. Renee is very powerful. Renee is very self-absorbed, very callous, very emotionless. And there's certain times that I think we all can agree where we kind of wish we could just turn off this little thing called emotions and feel nothing. So Renee was that character, that being that I know I cannot be. So therefore I pinned her, and she came out. And then everything just changed. Renee's very dark. A lot of people that read my work, they go, your work is very dark. I don't know what it is. I kind of have the tendency to just mesh well with that side, gravitate to it. But that's Renee in a nutshell.
Good. So is Renee? Is she? Now, it's an urban book. So what's Renee's background like? Is she highly educated? Super smart? What is she like?
That's a very good question. No one even ever asked me about her background. Renee is very smart. Renee is extremely smart book-wise. Renee is extremely hurt, broken. As a child, she was molested. She was molested by her stepfather, who she was molested by her stepfather, and the only person in her life as a child that sincerely loved her was her biological father, but unfortunately he passed. So basically she's scorned, she's lost. Her mother, who actually walked in on the molestation at one time, hates her. She hates her. She blames her for the molestation. She's one of those women who just need something so much for themselves that they would do anything to get it, which includes just, pushing their child out of the way. So that's really Renee's backstory. And then years later comes the love of her life, her everything, Julian. And that's when things starts to get rocky. She makes a new life, but then the ghost of Christmas past comes back to get her. And the whole question is, will Renee come out of this dark place and shine like the light she really is, or will she be content in the shadow that she has grown accustomed to?
Yeah. Now, I've had a few guests recently who experienced some real life situation with being molested. I mean, one author actually was molested by a woman. And,
oh, wow.
And one author, she hasn't been on the show yet, but I think the three characters that's in her book was her.
Right. Wow.
And then I have these nonfiction people came on talking about the books that's supposed to help with recovery.
Right.
Do you know anybody? Now, when you was writing about Renee's situation, her story, I mean, did you have a friend that was able to share that emotion with you, or you just try to, get inside Renee and, try to figure out what she's going through right now? Because I know it's dark.
Right. Honestly, that's a really good question. I don't know why. I guess it's silly of me. I never asked anyone their experience. Like, do not get me wrong. If people would like to speak to me about it, that's on their terms. I will never go, especially for research purposes, and say, what did you go through? Like, you know, how did it affect you? I just feel like that's so not my place. So I've never asked anyone anything. I just basically, when I write any of my characters, because another character that really blown people away in part one was Paige. What made Paige very unique was she has what's called the Electra complex. The Electra complex is the opposite of the Oedipus complex, where for people who don't know what the Oedipus complex is, if you guys are into Greek mythology, philosophy, Oedipus Rex was a king who wound up sleeping with his mother and killing his biological father. So if you take it and you twist it and you research it, the Electra complex is when a woman is sexually attracted to her biological father. So I don't know anyone like Paige, nor do I know anybody like Renee. So what I did was I allowed the darkness, the pain to flow through me, and I just allowed them to speak to me. It's kind of like when you're an author, you sit there and you're quiet and you're so invested, you allow them to talk. You allow them to just write for a minute. And that's how I basically let them tell their story. And when it's time for them to die, I never hear from them again.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, the way they describe the situation, you don't wish that on your worst enemy.
No, I agree.
So I was just wondering how you know, I guess you do enough reading, and I know a lot did go on back in those days. You could probably capture a lot of the emotion. Now, I know you don't want to give away too much of the story because I think you're still selling Renee, the first book, All Hail the Queen.
Right.
But did that kind of affect her with Julian a little bit? I mean, I know Julian was her best friend, so he probably knew a lot about this. Did Julian know about her molestation?
He knows everything about her. Julian accepts her for her darkness, her happiness, her taintedness, her normal tendencies, I guess you could say. Julian knew everything from the beginning because actually Julian was around during the molestation, and the molestation happened with Renee up until she was a teen, and then she moved to New York, and they was neighbors. So what can a teenage boy really do? He's in love with this girl since childhood, so he would basically get a little summer job, try to take her out, get her out the house. He knew everything. And because the molestation just broke her down, and not just the molestation, but her mother's reaction, her mother's selfishness, because it just tore away at her, it does affect her personal life, especially with Julian. It does. But he just waits around, hoping that she'll just be the person that he pictured, he witnessed glimpses of. So it does really affect her personal life tremendously.
Wow. Julian has some serious patience, didn't he?
He does. And I love him. Everyone's team, Jared, everybody who's listening, I got to say this, Jerry. Everybody who's listening, Team Jared, Team Carmen. Yes, I said it, Kiana. I said to say that. I'm sorry. I have this great friend, this great reader, great promoter named Miss Kiana Drennan, and I mean, she's just in love with the evildoer, and we go at it all the time on Facebook. So this is my way of getting her without her being able to talk back.
That's right. And while we're shouting out, I'm going to have to shout out to my good friend Kelly B. She says she loves your New York accent.
Thank you.
She messed with me while I'm doing this show. So she said, so Kelly, you hear? She said, thank you. Are you happy? Leave me alone. All right. Yeah, you do have the voice. You definitely have the voice. So it won't be no competition. You won't be one of the other 70 million that's out there that's podcasting.
Oh, yes. I want everybody to hear this interview. I need everyone to hear this.
All right. Well, I'm talking about being a competitor one day. You know, you out there with all of us.
Oh, really? You think so? Oh, no,
yeah.
That's not my forte. No.
That's not you. All right. But you're a good talker, though. You're a very good talker.
Thank you.
All right. So you're welcome. So we got Renee. We got Julian. Now, I'm going to tell you about Julian. I know a guy that's like Julian. But
really?
Yes. He that dude had a lot of patience. He always went after the really good-looking women. I mean, I'm talking about the bad ones. I mean, that people don't think they can get. And he'd just make friends with them, be there, listen to their little chit-chat.
Right.
I mean, he just hung in there. He'd be there for the good and the bad times. And just when you were vulnerable, he's right there for you. Put your head on the shoulder. Bam. Gotcha. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's my man. Yeah, that's how he operates. But he's happily married today, to this
Right,
day.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But Julian reminded me of him because he was waiting. He knew what she was going through, her recovery, because she had a recovery period, I take, going through it. Because you're going to remember those things.
Right, I agree.
Especially when you see that person. Now, it was the stepfather, right? Was he still alive in the book?
Yes, he's still alive, yes.
Okay, so he's still part of the storyline in the second book?
I don't want to give it all the way. Maybe not. But I will tell you that he is alive in part 1.
Wow. Now you're going to make me download that book.
You got to. See, this is what we're in the business of. We're in the business of selling stories. Definitely. Yes, he's a trip. Mr. Curtis, disgusting man. Disgusting man, but he's definitely in there.
All right. And then Renee, too. Let's talk a little bit about Renee, too. You have 44 reviews. We can ready to check them out, Brandy. We got to
get those. And everybody, please post these reviews for Renee, too. Come on, Team Renee, not Team Carmen.
All right. Now, here's L.R. Jiggs. She's from New York. She must be your buddy. She says, I read 1 and 2. Can't wait to see what's going on to happen between Renee and Carmen. Will Renee remind Queen? Will Carmen take the throne? What will happen to Julian? Oh man, she's naming everybody in this book.
Some of them I'm like, no.
You're not going to kill these people.
Yes.
She act like you're going to kill somebody off. She want to know what's going to happen.
I'll be honest with you. I am totally known for killing people. Like, my books have a lot of characters in it, and I was very worried about that in the beginning because I know people say, Brandy, that's kind of a lot of characters. You don't want to confuse people. But it really worked. People kept saying 6 degrees of separation. So let's say if I start off with 10 characters, the book will probably end with around a good, strong 4 to 5. So she really knows my writing. I will hatch somebody off in a heartbeat and then not even break a sweat.
Yeah, so they on here begging for you to keep some people alive.
Yes. But they gotta go. They gotta go.
Renee and Julian. This is what I guess Miss Lords. I think it's her name, Lords. So happy to be able to continue the love story of Renee and Julian. I love the addition of the new characters and how everyone interacts with each other, and somehow they are connected. I can't wait for number 3.
Oh, I love
Renee
that review.
Is queen. Wow, Renee is queen.
Yes, she's the queen. Bow down. She's the queen.
Now, do you like your fans really just attaching themselves to just one character? What are you going through when you're writing? Like are you working on number 3 right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Renee is a crowd pleaser.
Right.
So are you going to do anything to kind of upset the fans with her? Put her out of her comfort zone.
Oh yes, I think I upset a lot of the readers with part 2. Part 2, I literally took people on a roller coaster ride. I mean, I got you so used to a personality trait of all of these characters in part 1. Then part 2, I literally turned them upside down. And a lot of the reviews does say in part 2, I don't like this Renee. She needs to go back to being Renee part 1. She's too innocent. She's too weak in this one. But in part 3, there are deaths. There are going to be scenes that people are going to just throw the book and walk away and say, I'm done. To me, I encourage people to throw my book. Throw my book, curse at the book, inbox me, email me, Facebook me, tell me that I am the scum of the earth, but then at the end say, but you did really good.
That's right. All right. And your fans, they all kind of going crazy out there. They must don't trust you with these characters.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even like to really call people fans or readers. I just say they're true readers.
Yeah.
I love them. The industry has changed a lot, so I think I kind of mesh well, but I think I'm kind of different in a lot of ways. So I really like that they can accept me into this new world, understand me, and just love me for it. So, I mean, the people who have supported me, I have a book club, My Urban Books Club. I have a blog, My Urban Books. For everybody that's following me in this group, they're just phenomenal. I mean, I can not have asked for better supporters. I really have to be honest on that.
That's right. I did ask you about maybe I asked Brandy. I must ask Brandon about your fan book, because can you get hits to your? I mean, can people post on your timeline?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. As
long as you're a friend on my page, you could definitely post on my timeline.
Okay, good. Because right here, somebody said something about they named four. Well, they named four characters. One we're familiar with already. They said Renee did it again. I thought book one was good until I read the second one. The second part was very interesting with Jared, Tina, Life, and Benz. Poor Renee. Most of the people she trusts turned out to be the wrong people.
Yeah.
Oh. So what happened? She kind of does she give too much of herself in the second book?
Well, what happened is basically Renee Part 2. It's the same story, but not the same story. And what I mean by that is the issue that Renee was going through in Part 1, it kind of closed off, and now she has an even bigger issue, and her name is Carmen. So basically you have this so-called ally who wants to steal your throne. And that's why I called it Renee 2, the Protégé, because here this girl is wanting to take the steps to become Renee, wants to be Renee, but really she's a backstabber.
Whoa, I like that kind of story. I think I seen a movie something like that. Somebody trying to copy somebody.
Yes, and she's right underneath Renee's nose.
Whoa, so she tried to take her friends, her life, everything like that?
She wants everything. She wants Julian. She wants her money. She wants her empire. She wants to be Renee, but Renee is so... In Part 2, she's working on herself. She's working to get out of this dark cloud called life. So she kind of got blinders on. She just want to get out of it. And she's not seeing that Carmen is really a snake in the grass. But Carmen, sooner or later, we'll see if her true colors really reveal itself.
Gosh. And now I got to download too. See, now you messed me up. All right, Brandon, we got a few minutes left, and we want to talk about your anthology. You teamed up with a few authors. The book is called Gutter Mamas. Now, how did you end up writing a book called Gutter Mommies? Yeah, how did that happen?
Oh, well, actually, I am so happy that happened. What actually happened is it was submissions put out for this story, and I submitted. And then the publisher who submitted, Author Entice, she's actually signed with Zane Struber Books. She was the one holding the submissions. So then I said, I'm going to submit to you. She said, okay, sure, fine. And then I submitted, and Entice actually has read like a lot of my work, actually, like the first few chapters of both novels. And then she's like, I like your writing, submit it, definitely. So I submitted my short story by the name of The Face of Death, and Entice loved it. And she's like, you have yourself a position. You're in. You're definitely in. So by her doing so and offering me that was just a blessing, because for anyone who knows who Entice is, she's basically one of the veterans in the game. She's really known. She has great novels. So that's how the story of The Face of Death came about, and it'll be out August 2nd. August 8th.
Yeah. Well, they saying August 12th on Amazon release.
Oh, my goodness, I'm so wrong. Entice, don't kill me. Yes, August 12th.
Yeah, Kindle edition is $9.73. Yes. Paperback $11.25 for those of you that like to smell the pages.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, she does. She has a couple series out under that Gutter series. Yeah. That is hot. Well, young lady, we were so happy to have you on the show. And before I let you go, I just want to mention, anybody want to know more about the Joy Royce Live, I will be on Kelly B's show Friday night. I guess you can go out to Amazon and hit her Facebook. I think it's Kelly B, or I think it's Fire and Ice. Yeah, Fire and Ice under fan book. Check that out. And Brandy, You can take us home. You tell us, close us out tonight. All right? Anything you want to say to your fans or your avid readers?
Definitely. I would like to say you all rock. I thank you. I appreciate you. Just know that regardless of who I become, hopefully it'll be big in the future, you will always be remembered. If anyone wants to check out my novels that don't know of how my pen game is, it's available on BarnesandNobles.com, Amazon.com, or you could just contact me. Good Mommy's coming out. My short story, The Face of Death, will be out August 12th. And also, please show me a little support. I'm doing actually a book cover contest, and if you go on my page and see the cover that has over 200 likes on it, do me a favor and just hit that like button and help your girl win. And basically, that's it. I thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, everyone who's listening. You rock.
All right. We really appreciate you coming on, and it was a good show. You did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you brought a whole bunch of people with you to the show, and we want to thank the people who sat in the queue and listened to the show. We really appreciate you guys' patience, and I hope you enjoyed this show. Brandie was a very good guest. So,
thank
Brandie,
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you take care, and I'm glad I got a chance to get to know you. I know we've been instant messaging each other, and you was going back and forth with Brandon for a little bit, but I'm glad he was able to convince you to come on the show.
No problem. Well, thank you. I appreciate everything.
You're welcome. Take care, everybody. It's Jerry Royce Live, Positive Power, 21.org. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry Royce at Positive Power 21. Thank you, Brandie. We get our positive on.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
All right. That's a wrap, everybody. Good night.